everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashley and I'm an architect in Ontario. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can start to record your experience for the internship program as you're still completing your education requirements. So perhaps you've just completed your undergrad, you can start to record that experience. And I'm going to explain to you how you can start to do that. Now, this is relatively a new program that started back in 2019, I believe. And so I'm going to walk you through how to do that and how to be eligible for it. So if you're interested, let's get started. So within Ontario, there's been an update to the internship program that you can start to record your experience as basically a graduate. So perhaps you finished your undergrad and now you're taking a year in between your undergrad and your master's to work in the field and get some experience. Now, when I was back in my internship, I worked for a year in between my graduate and my master's, and that experience that I gained for that year, I could not record that experience. It was not allowed at the time. However, there's been updates to the program where you can now actually record that experience toward your internship. So perhaps you're taking that year in between your master's and your undergrad and you want to start to record that experience, you can do that now. And I'm going to walk you through that process. And now this is specific to Ontario. And I'm talking about Ontario just because I'm in Ontario and I know the rules and regulations a little bit more than any other province in Canada, but I would recommend to look into it and see if you can do that if you are in, for example, in BC or any other province within Canada. So let's get into the details of how you can begin to record that experience. So in Ontario, you would have to register as a student associate. So you need to first register as a student associate in order to collect and record that experience. So if you're not a student associate, you cannot backlog any hours. You can't do that. You have to first become a student associate and then you're able to record that experience. Now I'm going to walk you through and guide you through the requirements to do so and the process of becoming a student associate. So let's log into the OAA website and take a look at the student associate. So here, as you can see, we have the Ontario Association of Architects, the OAA website, and we are on the student associate page. Now I'm going to include in the description box below a link to this particular page, and you can also, and I recommend this, to go through it as well yourself and read all the details, because a lot of times when I'm making these videos, I'm skimming through a lot of the things. So it's very important that you go and also go through that information and verify everything. And if you also have questions, I would recommend getting in touch with the OAA and getting in touch with them with your questions, and they will be best to help you through that process. So here we have the student associate, and so here you have the eligibility requirements as well. So as a student associate, you're gonna have to meet these eligibility requirements, and there's no cost to becoming a student associate. And there are, of course, several benefits that I strongly encourage everyone to do. And to be able to have this ability to log experience is definitely something that I want to encourage anyone and any architecture student to start to look into. So in terms of the eligibility requirements, as an individual, you must be enrolled in a Canadian facility department or school of architecture that's offering a professional degree in architecture that's accredited by the CACB. So you have to be enrolled in your education in order to do this. So perhaps you're working in the summer and so on, and you have the ability to now collect that experience. And prior to this, you didn't have the ability and I wasn't able to do it. So this is definitely something that is great. You need to be enrolled in a US facility department. Sorry, I should add that, or if you're not in a Canadian architecture school program, then you could also, there's this or, be enrolled in a US facility department or architecture school that's accredited by the NAB, the National Architectural Accreditation Board. Or be enrolled in the syllabus program, the RAIC syllabus program, the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada syllabus program, or you can be enrolled in a Canadian School of Architecture that has candidacy for the CACB accreditation, or have completed any of the above degrees or courses of study and are awaiting CACB certification, and be a person of good character. Now, if you still have questions, if you're eligible for this program or not, or perhaps you're uncertain, I definitely recommend getting in touch with the OAA. They are lovely people and they are quite quick to respond with any questions or concerns. I've only had a great experience with them, so I recommend you to reach out with your questions. And so here you can start the online application form in order to become a student associate. So you would have to do this online application form, and there's an approval process which takes about 1 week to complete. And then once you're approved, you have the student associate status, which is valid until the end of the calendar year, and then you can start to collect those collect the benefits of being a student associate and collect those hours as well. And so as a student associate, you must be renewed annually, otherwise the status will become lapsed. And so there are several benefits that as a student associate you can take advantage of, and the biggest one is, of course, you get to log your architectural experience toward the internship program. Now, you can only log up to 760 hours, but this is definitely wonderful to have. And you can also receive bi-weekly OAA news e-bulletin. I receive it, and I definitely think this is something good. If you're in the industry, it's important to stay up to date with the news and what's going on in the industry. And so that's definitely something helpful since you're planning to become an architect and you're going to go through that process, or perhaps you're not certain, but it's good to start that process and you can get a feel for it if you really want to become an architect. And you'll also receive a reduced rate package to attend the OAA conference, which happens yearly, and then participate also in the association's volunteer opportunities, which there are several, and they are definitely good opportunities, good learning opportunities as well. So that's definitely something great to look into. And you can participate in the OAA website and participate in the group insurance as well. So in terms of the experience hours, a student associate enrolled in a CACB or a NAAB accredited architecture program may submit up to 760 hours to be accredited toward the internship program, the IAP program. And so they also have some other detailed items that you should look into. And you will need to have a mentor. So a mentor is required while you are gaining that experience. And so when you are filling out the online application form, you would actually list who your mentor is. The supervising architect signs off on the experience, so you will need to have a supervising architect. And let's just click on mentor and see. So here you have, if you are having troubles finding a mentor, you can also get in touch with the OAA and they will also align you with a mentor. And so if you are looking at changing mentors, becoming a mentor and so on, you can do that through the OAA, and they also have a whole variety of things that you can do here. And you would have to fill out a mentor confirmation form once you do get a mentor. So now let's go back to the student associate page. Let's just see if we do click on the online application form and start the process. So there is a no fee for student associate status. Please review the following. So I'm going to leave that to you to review and read through all of these details. And so down here, you would have to select the application options. Is this your first time applying for this status with the OAA? I do not have an OAA login. Or are you applying for the first time, but you have an existing OAA login? I am reapplying. So you would pick your situation. I believe most students are the first option where they don't have an OAA login and they are applying for the first time. So let's just go with that. And so here you would start to get into your personal information. You would add your name and your email and phone number and your contact information, and then you would make a login for the OEA website. I can't go to the next page until I fill this all out, so I can't go through the application with you, but you get the idea that you would complete that application, and then that would then get reviewed by the OEA. And they mentioned that it takes about a week for them to review it and get back to you. So once that's done, you can start to have student associate status, and then you'll be able to log that experience. So if you're also looking for more information about the internship program, there are some documents here that you can start to look into, and the Canadian Experience Record Book. So once you do start to collect those hours, you're going to have to fill out an experience summary form, so where you would allocate the project name, project type, location, budget, gross floor area, and then you would start to allocate the hours of where you spent your hours. So if you're working in the summer, or you're working through in your master's degree, and you are working for an architecture firm, and you're working in design, programming, design development, contract documents, you would include those hours for the particular project. So project 1, project 2, you would allocate those hours that you've gained experience. You're gonna get comments to sign off, and your mentor is gonna sign off along with the supervising architect as well. So that's basically how you can start to collect those hours while you're still a student. And if you have questions, again, I would get in touch with the OEA, and they will be best to help you with those questions and concerns in terms of eligibility, or perhaps you have questions about the program itself. I think this is a great addition. It's wonderful to hear that you can start collecting those hours. Although you can only collect and log in up to 760 hours, I still think that's a pretty good amount, and you can start to chip away at the internship program. So if you got a lot of value out of this video, make sure to like the video, and of course, if you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe, and you can do that here. And if you'd like to get more information about how to become an intern architect, I would recommend watching this video here. I hope to see you on the next video. Until then, bye!